Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to day 25 of 30 Days of Gratitude with Sal G. It is about 3 o'clock Pacific time, 28th of April. Grateful today. Following up on yesterday, we started to talk about the Serenity prayer. And it's perfect timing because today was just one of those days that up until a little bit ago, I just wasn't feeling it. Serenity prayer, courage to change the things I can. You know, the first part, before that, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. When I say that prayer, which I do in the morning as part of a routine, immediately after saying the first part, I add all of the things that have happened in the universe up until now, and almost all the things that are going to happen, which puts things into a little bit of context. But that might sound a little bleak. Moving forward, courage to change the things I can, I then add 7 different areas that I want to do better in from a virtue or a habit point of view, which they come from the inverse of the 7 defects of character or deadly sins or whatever you want to call them. Pride, anger, laziness, otherwise known as sloth, greed, envy, gluttony, and lust. But that's the only time I'll mention them really, because I like to frame things in the positive of what I want to be more of as opposed to less of. So I say, courage to change the things I can, to be more humble, to be more balanced, to be more productive and industrious. And that cluster, the first cluster, is the opposite of pride, anger, sloth. And then I say to be more appreciative of what I have and to take delight and feel good about the success of others. And that's greed and envy. And then the last piece, I say to be more mindful, moderate in the consumption of food and drink, a very timely one. And the last part is to treat everyone fairly in the spirit of their humanity, especially women. And that's really related more to lust, because that's a topic that can go on for hours, but suffice it to say that I, like a gazillion other people, not just men, was raised in such a way that that's something I had to unlearn and maybe start to learn again. And then I think encircling that whole thing, courage to change the things I can, I don't feel a stitch of guilt for a lot of things. Sometimes I do, but I don't feel a repeated sense of guilt about things that I've done or things that I'm trying to work on, because I look at that as a false sense of pride. It's not humility at all to walk around carrying 5 crosses because I'm less than perfect. And it's not to say I don't continually try and work, because I do. But I think my concept of God is one where humility is not just the lowering and the lowliness of oneself, but also rising oneself up enough to look in the mirror and say, hey, I'm working on that. And I don't have to suffer in that for the moment. So I am very grateful for the Serenity prayer, because like any habit, positive or maybe negative also, practice makes it stronger. And I've said that prayer among some other things that I do in the morning for years, pretty much every morning. And you know, I don't say that, people who know me know that I don't say that to sound good or to get a pat on the back or say, wow, he's spiritual. That's not what's happening. I say it because that is a source of gratitude that amplifies gratitude for me, and that helps put things in a perspective that is workable, it's practical, it's simple, it's accessible, and also it's not coming from a position of wrongness, guilt, shame. And I think that's really important. Good stuff today, a little philosophical, but I kind of wanted to be, especially for those of you who've tuned in and out throughout the last few weeks as we kind of wind it up. Although I have a funny hunch I'll start another one not too long after. Maybe a podcast. I have to talk to my daughter about that because she generally takes my ideas and puts them into reality. So, anyway, great talking to you, and would love to hear your thoughts. Would love to hear what you're grateful for. Quick shout out to Vanette for sending me that very nice message yesterday. Thanks. See you tomorrow.